today's brief video, I want to take a moment and share with you guys the very, very dark rabbit hole that smoking weed regularly eventually brought me down. And I want to start with a disclaimer saying that I understand some people will smoke weed and they'll get more motivated to go work out. Or some people will smoke weed and then they'll go out and socialize. Or they'll smoke weed and they experience pain relief. For me, once it came to cannabis addiction or cannabis substance use disorder, none of those positive benefits existed anymore. And I want to share with you guys some of the worst side effects that had impacted me from regularly consuming cannabis. And I guess I'll say I have one other disclaimer in this too. I wasn't like some rock bottom, degenerate, unproductive individual, right? Like, I've achieved more than most people will achieve despite addiction. So I was in college, I obtained a doctorate in chiropractic. I pursued after college education in functional medicine. I was a certified personal trainer. I worked 3 or 4 different jobs between opening my own practice, working at Vitamin Shop. I did personal training at 2 gyms, one of which was also self-employed. So I did a lot despite smoking weed. So it's not like I smoked and I was just a complete waste of life, right? Like, I still did a lot of things, okay? If you wind up relating to the content in today's video, be sure to check out the pinned comment or the video description to learn more about our supplements, paid programs, and free PDF handouts on how to quit smoking weed, okay? Pinned comment, video description. So I would smoke weed and I would get a buzz, right? And after getting that buzz, I would eventually start to get tired. And I would only smoke weed during the evening hours, okay? I couldn't smoke during the day, maybe with the exception of a Sunday, because of my professional career. So I'd smoke weed after a long day of work, get a buzz, start getting tired, and then I would inevitably start to watch the news. And I really enjoyed binging the news. I really enjoyed binging Netflix. I would just lay in bed and watch something. Now, if it wasn't the news, I would lay in bed and I would watch social media content. So at the time, it was pretty much scrolling, Facebook, Instagram, just, Twitter, whatever social media content platform was available at the time. And I'd be stoned, very, very tired, buzzed. Now I'm scrolling social media content while Netflix or the news is playing in the background, and I'm doing all this at once. And then, as that high would start to wear off, I would want to keep it going or enhance it, and I would use either nicotine or alcohol, more often than not nicotine. So now I'm stoned, watching the news, binging social media content, just ferociously hitting my vape, my nicotine vape, or chewing tobacco, okay? One of the two things. All while sitting in my room or laying in bed, all right? Now, after combining all that, some nights I'd want to further take the edge off, so I'd have 2 or 3 drinks, 2 or 3 beers, 2 or 3 martinis. And drinking alcohol wasn't a big issue for me. That was like an infrequent thing, but something I would do. And then regularly, I'd say like, okay, now it's time to fall asleep. And I would switch from social media content to adult media content. And then for, 10, 15 minutes, I would binge adult media content, do my thing, and then eventually pass out. Get a really, really, really crappy night's sleep, wake up in the morning, not work out, not hit the gym, not to mention the night before, not shower the night before, forget to brush my teeth because I passed out too soon. Not maybe some nights, a lot of nights that was even worse, because after a combination of nicotine, weed, alcohol, what else would you do? I'd snack on cookies, I'd snack on chips. More often than not, I was more a salty guy than a sweet guy, but I would just snack on all this junk food. So then I'd go to bed bloated, right? Bloated, alcohol, nicotine, weed, adult media content, really feeling like a piece of crap about myself. Wake up, feel exhausted, not work out, catch a quick shower, and then head into work the next day and perform incredibly well. I could go through a 12-hour day, top of the line performance, even in that state, right? Just feeling so run down from the night before. And in order to get going during the day though, Like, you couldn't talk to me unless I had a Monster Energy drink or a few scoops of pre-workout in my system. Maybe some days I would switch that up for a Diet Pepsi Max. I had a small stint with Americanos from like Starbucks and Tim Hortons where I am in New York, but even the Americanos, that was just like, I don't know. I could drink 2 or 3 Monsters, but I couldn't drink a Starbucks Americano. I felt like I was gonna die. And I would need that to start my day, and then I would need to reconsume a bunch of nicotine to start my day. Typically, I'd start with a dip of tobacco, and then as the day would go on, I would transition into a vape because it was easier and more discreet, and then at the end of the day, I'd revert back to chewing tobacco while I was getting stoned and high after getting home. So this would be like just a normal day for me and a normal night for me, and I did this for years on end. And I think the lesson here is that the actions that you take repetitively over and over again each day, they build momentum over time. And that momentum can either have a very positive or a very negative impact on a person's life. And for me, a lot of it stemmed back to smoking weed. Like, I would get high and then I'd want to binge television. I would get high and then I would want to binge adult media content. I would get high and I'd want to eat crap. I would get high and I would crave nicotine. I would crave alcohol all the more. Or I could say sometimes it would start with drinking. I'd have a few drinks, then I would crave weed, then I would crave more nicotine, then I would crave adult media content, and this, get a crap night's sleep, wake up craving caffeine and nicotine because I'm exhausted from all the crappy activities of the night prior. You feel depressed and demotivated, anxious about life now. And then what do you do to deal with that anxiety and depression? You do what you've trained yourself how to do. You consume more drugs, you consume more substances to deal now with the stress, anxiety, and depression that's literally being caused by the drug consumption itself. Really messed up cycle of addiction. But as I was saying, these actions, they gain momentum in either a positive or a negative direction. And it's fascinating to me because just by quitting weed first, I started to gain positive momentum, right? So I stopped smoking weed. Now suddenly Netflix, suddenly social media content, scrolling my phone mindlessly, it becomes a lot less interesting, right? I'd be sitting there in the bathroom, doing my thing, going to the bathroom, and if I was stoned or if I was hitting my vape, I could sit there for 45 minutes to an hour in the bathroom just scrolling my phone. And it's like, when I stop doing that stuff, it's like, what am I doing? Just go to the bathroom and get up and move on with your day. Like, you have things to do. And the amount of wasted time laying there at night in bed, the amount of wasted time taking a crap, hitting my vape, stoned at night after coming home, it's just mind-blowing to me that I actually accomplished anything. And eventually in quitting, I finally figured out, like, I asked myself, I should say rather, what is this time worth? What is this energy worth? If I wasn't getting high, if I wasn't drinking, if I wasn't sitting here mindlessly binging media content, social media, adult media, what would all this be worth? What if I made one change, and what if that one positive change started to gain me some positive momentum in my life? And that was quitting weed. So I quit weed. Now suddenly I'm not so exhausted at night. I'm not binging media content. I'm not too tired or too stoned to brush my teeth. I'm not binging on junk food. So even though I'm still watching porn, still consuming nicotine, maybe even still occasionally having a drink, I'm waking up with more energy. Now I start getting to the gym more frequently. I start walking more. I start exercising. I start weightlifting. Now I'm starting to feel better about myself. So now I'm feeling better about myself, and I'm thinking, maybe vaping and chewing tobacco doesn't fit the picture anymore. And now I'm gaining more confidence. Now I'm getting in better shape. Now I'm making more money because I'm more ambitious at work. Now I start dating because my confidence is up, my income is up. And it's just this one change that quitting weed that started to lead to a bunch of positive momentum and a bunch of positive other changes in my life, a lot of which were rooted in relationships, self-care, and addressing physical health and mental health issues that I was facing, largely resulting from substance use. Yeah, I still had a lot of other BS in my life, but I don't know, the greatest amount of BS that I was facing was the BS that I was creating. You know, it was literally a matter of wanting to feel better and having to stop continually screw myself. There's plenty of other things in the world that can screw us over and set us back day to day. And life is particularly unenjoyable when all you're doing is continually screwing yourself and really putting yourself at a major disadvantage or handicap or whatever you want to call it with substance use, right? Not getting a good night's sleep, wasting money on a substance, adding to the depression, adding to the stress, adding to the anxiety, literally creating brain fog, physical and psychological anguish for yourself day in and day out. It doesn't make any sense, right? So that's the thing. Choose your actions wisely and start, maybe leaning towards actions that can build positive momentum in your life. Because that positive momentum, like I said, with that negative momentum, they can both build on one another. And that change might start with quitting smoking weed. So if you relate to that, if that sounds like your lifestyle and you've been too embarrassed to talk about it, I'm not afraid to on YouTube here, even as a medical professional, because a lot of people struggle with that triad of addiction: nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content, stuff that we help people quit. We got one-on-one coaching sessions. It's a single session, one session, money back guarantee if you need help with it, because the evidence says you don't need ongoing coaching or ongoing recovery. You can quit, become recovered, and move on with your life. We also have our Kick It, Crave Less chewing gum supplement. It's cannabis-free, nicotine-free, stimulant-free. I tried to make it as least addictive as possible. It has KSM-66 ashwagandha and N-acetylcysteine. It's a chewing gum to help reduce cravings, to help improve your stress tolerance. I describe it as a gum with a kick. It's Kick It, Crave Less chewing gum. We have a 30 count, a 90 count bottle, and a 3-pack. And the 90 count lasts a month. The 3-pack lasts 3 months, which is really 90 days, the gold standard for quitting addictions. And the 30 count is the trial size. And we have a bunch more stuff coming in our supplement line. We've been around for about a year, and we're doing good. We're profitable. We're doing good, and we're about to add some new SKUs and some new products. So check that stuff out: the coaching, the supplements, or the free PDFs. You can find it in the pinned comment or the video description below.